Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. This is Katie. If you're new here, hi, welcome. And if you are back, I'm glad that you're back. Tonight we are going to be doing a little WIP and Chat together. WIP stands for work in progress, and chat means we're just going to chat and catch up. So pull out whatever you are working on. It can be a diamond painting like I have, or something else crafty, or you can be doing housework. It's whatever you want. Not usually designed to be watched and more so listened to, but feel free to watch along if you like. Tonight I'm working on this beautiful piece from Diamond Art Club and the artist Randall Spangler. This is the kit Firefly Fireworks. It is a whopping 170 centimeters tall, and it is working up pretty quickly, actually. It's coming along really beautifully. You can see I'm here on the dragon's face, and as we get up there, we'll get into some more fireworks and whatnot. The pen I'm using, I just sort of felt kind of fireworky on theme. This is from Jim's Handmade Pen Shop on Etsy. Tonight I'm using Patty Wax in my single placer and Museum Putty in my multi-placer. I have done little how-to videos and reviews on both those kinds of waxes or wax alternatives. Feel free to go check those out if you'd like tips and tricks for using those. I'm using my brand new tray. Yes, it is very hot pink, from Munimade. I'll link her shop below on Etsy. She restocks on Mondays, which is when this video is going up. So go check out her shop on Etsy. And no, it doesn't match the canvas, but I really just wanted to try it out a little bit more. I'm really loving the curved spout at the end, and yeah, I'm a fan. So let's get into it. First things first, yes, I am going to have information about my 500 subscriber giveaway in this video, but you have to stick around for just a little bit longer before I share all the details. I just want to update you on a few things first and then share all of that goodness with you. Let me go ahead and grab a color and we'll get started. So let's do 3 dots. How are you all doing this evening or morning by the time this goes live? I don't know if you've noticed, if you've been around a little while, I tend to set my videos to upload overnight on YouTube because they can take time to process and whatnot, and then just set them to go live in the mornings. It just seems to work out okay for me that way. I hope it works out okay for you. I have had a lot of new faces joining just even in the past week. It was less than a week ago that I hit 500 subscribers and had shared that a giveaway would be coming. And this morning I woke up and had broken 600 subscribers. So yes, I guess this giveaway feels a little bit belated, but that's just how it worked out, which is okay. We've had a fairly uneventful weekend here at our place. I did, if you've been around for a little while, you might remember me mentioning, I don't know if you can kind of see, it doesn't want to show up, this like red mark on my hand. So I sliced this knuckle open when I was washing out the inside of a wine glass back at the end of November. And I didn't go in for stitches or anything like that. Don't worry, I'm not going to get into the gory details if you have a sensitive stomach. But yeah, it seemed to be okay. It took a little while to heal up, and I just kind of figured, oh, there's probably some lingering soreness or whatever because it was just quite the gash. So it seemed to get better, and then a couple weeks ago, I noticed that it was getting tender again, and there's a little bit of a lump there, and so I have a really, really, really bad feeling that there is still a piece of glass in there. So I emailed my doctor on Friday and just told her what was going on and what I suspected and sent her a picture, and she's like, yeah, you should come in. We should do an x-ray and see if there's still glass in there. But you guys, I am such a huge wimp when it comes to anything medical, honestly. Like, I am just dreading it. I'm like, if I ignore it, will it just go away? So, and of course, like, this is how absolutely ridiculous I am. When I realized that, like, there might still be a problem here, I was like, no, this is my right hand. And no, my first worry wasn't like, how am I going to be able to brush my hair or whatever, like, if they have to go in and take care of it. No, my thought was, can I still diamond paint? Oh my gosh, my priorities are either very straight because I know that this is a sanity-saving hobby for me, or my priorities are really out of whack. I'll let you guys decide. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys posted. I don't know. When it first happened, though, it's at, like, just the right spot that, like, I don't actually have to bend at that spot when I diamond paint. So we'll see. But nothing like this has ever really happened to me before. So feeling good about that. So as far as diamond painting things go, I had my first finished project of 2021. I just shared a post review of that today, which today is Sunday, by the way. It was the Alice in Wonderland. Well, it was that theme, but the title of the piece was actually Down the Rabbit Hole version B from DIY Moonshop. And I was just, oh my gosh, I'm so happy with how that kit turned out. And it took a little bit longer than I was expecting to because of the drill quality being not so fabulous on a couple of those colors, so I couldn't multi-place with them. I had to kind of pick around, find the good ones, but I am thrilled with how it turned out. Very genuinely. Makes me excited to work on some of the other Cherryuki pieces that I have in my stash. I was really, really excited to see Diamond Art Club dropped a surprise release on Saturday. So they had previewed 4 of those pieces, but then when the new arrivals went live on Saturday morning, there were 2 additional pieces that had not been previewed. And they're from an artist that I immediately recognized. It's Disney-themed artwork. I've seen her artwork at the Wonderground Gallery, which is the artwork gallery that's in downtown Disney. If you're new, I live 15 minutes from Disneyland. I live in Southern California. We have had Disney passes on and off for most of the last 10 years that we've lived out here. So I've walked by that art and walked into that artwork, that gallery, any number of times. And so I immediately recognized her artwork, and I am over the moon that Diamond Art Club is licensing her artwork for diamond paintings. So I restrained myself. I only got the one it's Bambi. It's called like Winter Deer or something like that. But it was just too adorable to pass up. She has some incredible artwork, like some Little Mermaid themed things that I really, really, really hope that Diamond Art Club is going to be sharing with us. If you didn't know, I'm blanking on her name. It starts with an S. I'll insert it here. She's the sister of JoJo from JoJo's Arts, who Diamond Art Club also licenses with, which, can we talk about how ridiculous it is that family got all those amazing artwork genes? I love it so much. But yeah, JoJo's Arts was sharing on his Instagram stories, like, so proud of my sister. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're siblings? That's fun. So really, really hoping we'll get to see lots of other really beautiful pieces from Diamond Art Club from this artist who I feel terrible I'm blanking on her name. So that was really fun. I'm hoping, mine said it already shipped. We'll see how long it actually takes to get here. But we're close to 10 minutes in here, so I am too excited. I want to go ahead and share the details about my 500 subscriber giveaway. Now, I do want to say up front, this is the very first giveaway that I have ever done in any form on Instagram or YouTube or whatnot. this just felt like this is a really special milestone for me, and I am just so beyond grateful for all of you that for me, it's just the very least I can do to give back and just show some of my gratitude and appreciation. I really wish that I had enough to shower all of you with my appreciation, but unfortunately, my resources are not unlimited. So please do listen carefully, and also, as much as you can, please be gracious with me if I'm doing something that's a little bit maybe outside of the norm of how some people do it or whatnot. I'm just trying to do the best I can and be as clear and fair as I can, and I hope that it all makes sense. And if anything does not make sense, please do not hesitate to let me know. So there are going to be 2 prizes. One is going to be for anyone who lives in the United States. The other is going to be for anyone who does not. The reason for that is because I personally do not have experience with shipping internationally, and right now I just don't really have the margin to figure all of that out, and the numbers as far as COVID goes are really terrible here, so I don't really want to go into a post office to figure all of it out. So, and I can just ship, within the US, that's really simple for me to do from home. However, there is still going to be an international prize. So the prize for someone who lives in the US it's going to be a pack of, I'm calling it just my favorite things. It's going to be a variety of diamond painting accessories, things that I love. There's going to be at least one pen, not this pen. I love this pen. There's going to be a pen. There's going to be some waxes. There's going to be some other goodies. And I hope that it'll be fun and enjoyable for you. So I will ship that to you. If you do not live in the United States, your prize will be a Diamond Art Club gift card that I will be able to just email to you. So I will say I'm not able to swap either of those things. If you live in the United States and you enter, you will get my fun prize pack of favorite things. And if you are international, you will get the gift card. How to enter. There are 2 steps, and I really will very gently ask you to please do both of them. Otherwise, I can't give you the prize. I will have to draw for someone else's name. Step 1, please go down into the description box of this video, and right at the top, you'll see a link to a Google form. And on the Google form, all that it asks is for what your name is on YouTube, your email address that I can contact you at, and whether or not you live in the United States or not. Just those 3 questions. It'll take 2 seconds to fill out. The reason that I'm doing it this way instead of just drawing a name and then telling that person on YouTube to email me and trusting that no one is going to try to steal your prize. There have been problems with that lately in the crafting community with giveaways that have been done. So this way just allows me to make sure that no one is trying to swipe your prize. So I will not be sharing your email address or anything like that with anyone else. It just goes for me. And I am calling it a happy mail form because I really do have too much in my stash, and if I have something that I want to share even outside of a giveaway, then that will let me more easily get in touch with you to send that your way. And YouTube doesn't have a way of contacting people just within YouTube. So step 1, fill out that, I'll call it a happy mail form for lack of a better phrase. And I think that's what I've seen various other creators call it. Step 2, please comment on this video. It can be any comment, but I would especially love if you could comment and let me know how you found my channel. I know I asked this on my last video, and I really appreciated the people that took a minute to just mention how they had found me. I know some of you probably found me through Miss Crochet and Coffee's 1 hour WIP and Chat challenge, but some of my other more recent videos and like tutorial style videos have gotten a lot of, views and comments. And so I'm just very curious how you found me. So those are the 2 steps. Please fill out the Google form and please comment on this video. This giveaway is going to run through midnight Pacific Standard Time this upcoming Friday. So like the evening of Friday. So technically that's midnight Saturday, but Friday night at midnight. I will include reminders and videos that I do between now and then. Yeah. So if you are in a different time zone or international, please you can just go into Google and say like convert midnight PST to your local time zone. So yeah, I'm really excited to be able to give back. I really hope that all made sense. I'm a little nervous. I just want to make it as clear and fair as possible. And yeah. So thank you guys for being here and helping me hit that milestone. I'm so appreciative and so grateful. I say that a lot, but I really mean it. Thank you for everyone that's been watching, that watched that video that I did on how to work on a large diamond painting canvas. I was honestly a little bit nervous to put it up because I feel like, I started diamond painting in, during less than a year ago, like during the spring, like early on when the pandemic had started is when I started diamond painting. I didn't start my YouTube channel until August of this past year, so I haven't even had a YouTube channel for 6 months yet. And I just sort of felt like it was a little bit presumptuous of me to be putting up a tutorial video on anything, because I feel like there's so many fabulous creators that have done all kinds of how-to and tutorial videos, and I didn't want it to come off as though I was saying like, well, they didn't do a good enough job, so I'm going to do my own. That's not at all how my approach is. My approach is more that we all bring something to the table, and we all have different, sorry for the husband noises. We all bring something different to the table, and all of our perspectives are different and have value. So something that I might have to share on a topic is going to be different from something that someone else has to share on a topic. Case in point, someone commented on my recent video where I talked about Quake Hold Museum Putty, and it was like my review and how-to video for how to like load it and use it and whatnot. And I had showed how I have always loaded it and how I must have seen someone else load in a tutorial where I like roll it between my fingers and then kind of work it in there with my the end of my tweezers or my fingernail or whatever. Well, someone commented on that video and was like, did you know you can just stab it? Like just lay the brick in front of you and stab it straight down. And I just had a moment of how did it never occur to me to try that? And I have to think that maybe I tried it really, really early on when I first got it and couldn't get that to work for me. But I was actually really thankful to that person. I was like, oh my gosh, you're totally right. I should have tried that and shared that as like an option for how other people could load it. So that just kind of brings me back to my point of, even if we feel like we have a really comprehensive perspective on something or suggestions for something, someone else always has other ideas. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So anyway, I hope that you all found that video to be helpful if it's applicable for you. It was also fun for me to, through that video, share just a little update on how that big Josephine Wall canvas is going. I'm over halfway done on it. We're getting there. I think I probably have another, my guess is like a month and a half, depending on how much I work on it in the evenings. Like normally, like right now, I probably would have gone ahead and set it up and worked on it. I do most of my work after my kids, most of my diamond painting after my kids go to bed, because it's just easier to not have my destructive little toddler all up in my diamond painting business. So I really only work on that Josephine Wall kit when I can set it all up and I can settle in with it for the evening. But it's a little bit hard for me to read the symbols on it when I'm recording, because I use just a little bit of extra lighting because I have really not great overhead light. I know. So that one's coming along. This is coming along. I don't have any really strong ideas for what I am going to work on after this one, but I mean, I don't even think I'm a third of the way through this one yet. But those are just some diamond painting related updates. As far as family stuff goes, my kindergartner has his annual IEP meeting this upcoming Wednesday. If you're not familiar with the phrase, IEP stands for Individualized Education Plan, I believe. It is just a phrase for a plan that you make with your school for any extra support or services that your child needs from the school. I've shared openly before, my oldest kiddo is autistic. He is 5.5 years old. He is so stinking smart, and he's wonderful. I adore him. But IEP meetings are always they can be a bit draining and a little bit stressful, just because we're talking through like really big, sort of heavy types of decisions that have lots of implications. So, this IEP meeting, we'll probably be talking about like what we're envisioning that first grade might look like for him in the fall. We're really, really fortunate that we live in an area and in a school district where there are fabulous resources as far as special education goes. He's been able to be a part of the school district's special ed preschool program since he turned 3. It's made an absolutely incredible difference for him. He did that program for 2 years and then transitioned into a special ed kindergarten program that unfortunately he's never seen the inside of a classroom for. We've done it entirely remote, which has been its whole other thing. If you happen to have kiddos and they've done any remote learning whatsoever, I'm sure that you feel that pain. And it is what it is. I really don't know quite what to expect going into this IEP meeting. My husband and I have talked through just what our hopes are, maybe some ways that like his IEP could be modified, other services and supports we might want to ask about. We're seeing more and more like some red flags. We strongly suspect he has ADD. We haven't pursued diagnosis for that because we're not going in person for assessments right now. Once the pandemic dies down and we feel more comfortable taking him into that sort of setting, we are planning to just take a look at that purely from the perspective of sometimes having a diagnosis can open up doors as far as services and extra support goes. I thought I might take just a few minutes to share a little bit about just what our journey has been as the parents of a kiddo with special needs. It's all going to be just very respectful and all of that, and I hope that you'll hear that from me. But it's the kind of thing that if you if you are a parent of a kiddo with special needs, then it can feel very, very isolating. And just the sort of thing where I hope that in sharing, maybe you'll feel a little bit less alone and feel like you have, someone that gets it, and that you're, of course, always welcome to reach out to me. We'll give a little disclaimer up front that absolutely none of this is medical advice or anything of that sort. This is purely my own personal experience, and if you have anything, any concerns or anything like that going on with your loved ones, please, please, please speak with a doctor or therapist or whomever. So I'll be right back and we'll get started. Sorry, my cat was yowling for a little bit of food. So this all kind of started fairly early on, honestly. Shortly after my oldest was born, I don't know. I feel like from a very early age, I sort of had a sense that there might be something else going on. He just was a really, really fussy kiddo, and as a baby, and I always thought like, oh, that's just how kids are. Like, don't read into it. First time parent, everything is just gonna be really tough. I noticed, some other things that seemed to be red flags, and finally, I think at like his 18-month checkup, I finally had told we had been, keeping tabs with his pediatrician all along the way. And his speech was pretty slow to take off. And so around 18 months or 2 years old, we were able to start speech therapy with him. Very fortunate that it was all paid for because of the state-funded early intervention program. So we were able to get private speech therapy that way, and it made a huge difference for him. We had that added benefit of with speech therapists working with him regularly under the same roof as occupational therapists and behavior therapists, that they actually mentioned to me, they said, we can't do any kind of diagnosis, and this is not strict medical advice on this, but we're noticing just a couple of things that would be an area of concern for us, and we'd recommend that you maybe reach out to the regional center again and see about having some additional assessments and testing done. So that kind of it completely all aligned with what my concerns were, and so I was very appreciative for that, to make me feel like validated and not as though I was just looking to slap a label on my kid and that I was just being a poor parent. So we did, get some additional services, and I don't want to go into all the details of that, but then when kiddos turn 3 here, they are transitioned to services through the school district. Like, everything then goes through the school district. Like I said, we're super fortunate that we have a really fabulous school district here. So once we started meeting with them and they started kind of doing their own assessments just to figure out what, support services he would qualify for and whatnot in the school, that's when we had someone tell us, like, it would probably be good to have him formally evaluated and assessed for autism. And they said it's not a bad, no one ever treated it like it was a bad word or a bad thing. It was purely from a perspective of let's just get all the information that we can, because then we can make the most informed decision that we can, which is absolutely how my brain works. So I was on board with that. And so a couple months after his 3rd birthday, we had completed all of the assessments and whatnot and had our official diagnosis. It hasn't changed a single thing about how we love and treat him and all of that. It's purely just to us, it's just more information. It just gives us more insight into how his mind works and lets us sort of make adjustments for routines and setting him up for success, both like at home and at school. Now, I have a background in education. My degree is in music education, so even though I'm currently a stay-at-home mom, like I'm not uninformed in this sort of thing. I understand a lot of the lingo and approaches in in schools and whatnot, and I have a lot of just appreciation for and respect for those processes and whatnot. And so I'm just all about like, I want to set my kiddo up for success. I don't want to make his whole identity revolve around this thing, but I want to do everything that I can as his mom to be his advocate and to help him have access to things that'll help him be successful, like whatever that looks like for him. And it's interesting, my reaction when I am getting into new information, something that's new to me, is I tend to just do a lot of research, a lot of listening and trying to get perspectives from people that have just lived that thing that is new to me. One of the places that led me was to, well, really a variety of Facebook groups. One of the ones I've found to be the most valuable is a group that is all about elevating the voices of people that are actually autistic, is what they call it. Adults with autism. And it's really interesting. It has been quite a learning experience. So, for example, you'll frequently hear me say that my son is autistic as opposed to saying he has autism. And that's something that's been kind of an interesting distinction for me to learn about. And I don't think there's any hard and fast, like, this is how you're supposed to say it. When I went to school, it was all about using person-first language. Person with autism, person with a speech delay. There's sort of a mentality in a large part of the autistic community that many of them prefer having, what's the phrase they use? Anyway, they prefer saying, like, I'm autistic, not I have autism, because it's not a disease. It's not, it has more to do with just sort of being such a part of who they are that many of them just prefer that kind of language. And I just don't want to be unintentionally hurtful. And so I don't want to, I don't know. I feel like I'm in kind of murky waters here, so I'll kind of move away from that. I just sort of wanted to give the context in case anyone was cringing whenever they heard me refer to my son in that way, to say, like, he's autistic as opposed to he has autism. I hope that made sense. I really hope that doesn't get twisted and that you hear just where my where my heart is in that. So it's not entirely applicable to this entire point that I'm trying to make, just sharing about what our journey has looked like. But I suppose it has, in that it's just an example of how I've tried to very much sort of surround myself with a really wide variety of perspectives and insights, just to try to understand as best I can how to just understand better how my son's mind tends to work and how I can best support him and that kind of thing. He's the kind of kiddo that for a long time, I think he could have very easily just slipped under the radar because he's extremely smart. He's reading at when they tested him at the end of preschool, so almost a year ago now, he was reading at not quite second grade level. Now, I mean, I couldn't even tell you. It does make me sort of chuckle a little bit when in his kindergarten class, his teacher's like, okay, now our letter of the week is C. And I want to be like, I understand. And the reinforcement is good, but oh my gosh, this kiddo has known his alphabet backwards and forwards since he was 2.5. But like I said, of course, she's, meeting the needs of all of her students. She's sent home some supplemental stuff for him if, he gets a little bored. And if he were in school in person right now, and if the school were operating normally, he would actually be integrated. Yeah, there would be some integration with the general education classes. For the academic stuff, math and reading, he would be in with gen ed. But for the help with some social skills and the social emotional things and that sort of thing, that's where he needs the extra support. He's super structured. We've had to learn what that looks like, but he does super well when we set him up for just success and telling him what to expect and not surprising him, and that I think has been really helpful for him. It's been interesting because as we've kind of all along the way, as we've been on this journey with him, a lot of the things that they talk about, when we were filling out the many various assessment forms for him, and I would mention to my mom some of the things that, we talk about. She's like, this is exactly what you were like as a kiddo. I've had kind of a long time sneaking suspicion that I could be on the spectrum. But girls tend to go very much undiagnosed just because of how the diagnosis tests seem to work, and because I think girls are better at masking than boys are. I don't totally know. I don't know if that's the case or not for me, but it just has been interesting because I've spent a lot of time being introspective and wondering that's weird. That sounds like it could be me. So yeah, it has been a process, and I am, like I said, I'm curious to see what it'll be like if we add ADD into the mix, which I kind of have always had in my head that there's a solid chance that any kids I have could have ADD because my husband does, largely outgrown and well managed, but it's, since there's such a highly genetic component for that, I have always thought, well, I feel like there's a pretty good chance that this may be something we deal with our kids, which is, thankfully, we live not only in an area where this sort of thing is seen as something that we work around and support, and not let's try to, I don't know, stifle this or not, or medicate it away or whatever. I'm thankful for that because I think it was a little bit different when my husband was growing up, but we shall see. But yeah, being the parent of a kiddo with special needs is kind of a unique challenge, I feel like, even when we're not in the middle of a global pandemic. It's added, sorry, let me finish tapping this out. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster because it's hard for me not to look at how things are going and think if only we weren't in the middle of a global pandemic, then X, Y, and Z, maybe we'd be looking at having my son mainstreamed in first grade, which was sort of always the tentative thought, like with how he was progressing and whatnot. And now I have a difficult time seeing that being a possibility because he's been out of the physical classroom since, well, for almost a year now. And so that's going to be a huge adjustment. And I don't know what that's going to look like. I'm very, very anxious to hear what his teacher and like the school psychologist and the school speech therapist and someone from the gen ed program is going to be in that meeting. It's like a ton of people it's on Zoom, but I'm not I don't know. I really don't know what they're going to come out and suggest, but I mean, I'm sure they're having to change a lot with the pandemic is affecting everyone. So, we will see. I'm just grateful, like I said, I live in a good school district for it, and that my husband and I are very much on the same page with how we're handling it, and that my kids are so darn sweet. My youngest, I've mentioned before, he and his older brother could not be more opposite. My younger one really, really keeps me on my toes. I think I mentioned here in my last WIP and Chat, the one before, like his new thing is he's really, really into our outlets where we plug things in. And he's got enough dexterity to pull off the outlet covers. So, I mean, I don't leave him unsupervised for a second because that's all it takes him to get into trouble. And literally right now I'm sitting at my kitchen table, sitting where I am. I see him go around to the other side of the kitchen table where we have an outlet on that wall. It's literally 4 feet from me. I just have to go around the kitchen table to get to it. I saw him going for it. I said, no, Micah, don't touch the outlet. And in the 4 seconds that it took me to hop up and round the table, this is the outlet that he broke the plastic cover on and we patched back up a couple weeks ago. He had grabbed the laptop cord or something that was laying on the ground there that I didn't realize was laying on the ground. And he tried to plug it in and he accidentally touched the metal prongs and gave himself a little zap and got really upset. He's fine. He's completely fine. It was a tiny zap, I'm sure. But it startled him enough that like he got upset and he cried and, I soothed him and I, felt like a bad mom for a second, even though I was right here. Please don't judge me. I literally was right here. But my husband said, he's like, I didn't want him to get zapped. But part of me is like, well, now that you know what happens, maybe you won't do that anymore. I don't know. That might make us bad parents, but we're kind of like natural consequences, but like obviously don't want our children to come to harm. I don't know. You guys, if this video doesn't end with me getting like massively flamed by other parents, I think I'll be shocked. Gosh. Anyway, so my youngest, I mentioned before, just sort of the struggle with not being able to get services for him right now. Like I think he would seriously benefit from speech therapy because he has a bit of a speech delay. Though he was singing along with the song, saying words we didn't know he knew with their new favorite movie right now is Wreck-It Ralph and Wreck-It Ralph 2. So he'll say like some of the lines of dialogue and sing along with some of the songs. So, and I know he understands a lot. So, that's reassuring, but we shall see. We shall see. My mom was just telling me the vaccine rollout has been pretty slow in Ohio where she lives. She and my dad were supposed to come out this month. They would be here right now if their trip had been able to go forward as planned. We live across the country from all of our family. We live in California. They live in Ohio. And I normally get to see my mom every couple of months. She flies out. She helps me. Well, I just get to spend time with her, which is my favorite. But it's just always a nice little sanity break for me because she will do, she really basically takes over cooking the meals. We get lots of house projects done. She keeps an eye on the kiddos so that I can get some work done or catch a break for myself. And we saw her in October. She came out with my dad. Sometimes they come out together, and then if they do that, they rent a hotel. If it's just because we live in a very small space, like 1,200 square feet. But if just my mom comes out, then she will just sleep on our sleep sofa. And then she's here. She'll get up with the kids in the morning and I can sleep in. My husband works. So anyway, I'm missing them a lot. a lot. My mom retired in November. She was a neonatal nurse practitioner, which means she worked in a NICU, a neonatal intensive care unit, taking care of the tiny babies. She's my superhero. She's my hero. So she retired in November, which has been on, the plan for years, really. And she already has said, she's like, as soon as I'm eligible to go back to work casual, which means she would work like one shift every 6 weeks. She's like, as soon as I'm eligible to go back to work, I'm gonna apply and, go back. And she's like, my motivation will be because then I can get the vaccine right away and then I can fly out and visit you. She always was planning on going back casual and just working that one shift a month, or one shift every 6 weeks, just because she's like, I enjoy my job. I just don't want to work full time. I don't want to have to work holidays and all of that. And she's like, I want to be retired with dad because my dad has been retired for a few years now. But she's like, I'll go back to work as soon as I'm eligible. I guess they have to have like a 4-month break in between when they retired and when they can come back to work at the same hospital. So she's like, if the vaccines haven't come to my age group by that time, I'm going to go back to work so I can get the vaccine, come visit you. I said, okay. That's just our own personal choice, by the way. That there's not like an actual necessity for her to fly out here. It's just I really want to be able to see her, and she really wants to be able to see her grandkids. And we normally don't go this long without seeing each other. But since it's not like truly like a dire need, we just don't feel good about her traveling unnecessarily and exposing herself, exposing us. So that's where we landed. But it'll be good to see her whenever that is. We FaceTimed with my in-laws today. We try to FaceTime every few weeks. And oh my gosh, my youngest is such a stinker. He knows when there's a camera on him, and he will play hard to get. He is a cat, is what we have determined, because he won't do anything unless it's his idea. As soon as a camera is on him, he will refuse to perform. He'll just mean mug you. Look at you like, oh, that cute thing I was doing? Yeah. No, you don't need it on camera, Mom. Oh, Grandma and Grandpa want to talk to me? I'm busy. He's 2.5. Well, he turns 3 in just a couple months. That's going to be so weird to have a 3-year-old, but he's so big for his age. That's it's probably gonna not feel that strange. My big kiddo, he's already in like 4T clothes. Like 3T clothes are too small for him. And yeah, we call him the chunk. We should probably stop doing that soon because I don't want to give him like body image issues, which is, believe it or not, that's a thing that can happen with boys too. But it's always been affectionate because he was such a chubby baby. I love it. I loved it. I loved it. I love it. So we've been calling him the chunk for a long time, but all in affection. Those baby rolls. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So, so cute. Oh, what was I going to tell you guys? Oh, so I was going to go back to some diamond painting things really quick. If you didn't catch on earlier when I mentioned that I'd picked up one of the surprise Diamond Art Club releases over the weekend, that means that I broke my no-buy. To be fair, I had gone on the no-buy mostly because like nothing was really catching my eye. And I thought if I don't love it, there's no reason for me to get it. But as soon as I saw that artist, I was like, I love her artwork. I have to get her. So I had bought that kit. I broke my no-buy. I made it 24, 25 days. So that's something. And then while I was at it, it was kind of like the floodgates open. And I picked up a couple other accessories that'll be on the way soon too. But I did get another diamond painting. I had been following along with the Craft Ease sort of saga where Crafties was carrying some artwork from Sybil Art. They have legally licensed artwork. But Sybil Art's artwork is at DIY Moonshop as well. And, sorry, I coughed there. And then Mrs. Coffee had gotten a kit from them. It was a whole thing. Anyway, all this to say, I saw that Craft Ease had some new artwork from Sybil Art, and I had thought that Craft Ease was no longer going to be carrying her artwork, and so I messaged the artist directly and just said, hey, I saw that your artwork, that Craft Ease has some additional new artwork of yours. Is it legally licensed and all above board? And she said yes. She's like, they did contract and are licensed to carry this other artwork of mine. So I thought, oh great. Well, and then Miss Coffee did a video with an unboxing of one of those kits and shared an update on that. So if you're curious, go over to Miss Crochet and Coffee's channel and she shares about all of that. But there's a really pretty piece on there that I wanted to try, so I ordered that. And we'll see. I just got a email that said that was ready for shipping. So we'll see. Hopefully that'll come soon, and I'm excited to share that with you guys. I feel like my list of companies that legally license artwork is ever growing. It's been a long time goal of mine to sort of get to work on a kit from each of the companies that legally licenses their artwork. I'd love to get a kit from each of them, work on and complete and do a post review of each of these. It's gonna take me a while though, because there keep being more and more, but that's a good problem to have, right? That we have more companies that are coming out with those. So I am very grateful for that. Well, you know what? I just finished this section, and I feel like this could even just be a good stopping point. I'm just going to fix a couple of these drills. But before I go, I did want to remind you guys about the, in case you didn't find me through the 1 hour WIP and Chat challenge, and you haven't heard about it yet or haven't had the chance to go check it out yet, I'm going to link the playlist that Mrs. Coffee put together of the different videos that creators have done for the 1 hour WIP and Chat challenge. There's 98 or something really, really ridiculous. Ridiculously amazing, though, because how neat to not only have this opportunity to, like, for people to put their names out there and be discovered, but how awesome is it that there are that many creators in the community? I think that's really, really cool. So if you haven't had the chance to check those out, I'm very slowly working my way through the list and just loving getting to discover new creators. And I think it's so fun. And I feel like you can even go through, and even if it's just listening to like the first 5 minutes and getting a feel for if that person is for you, I think that that's a totally legit way to do it too. But I'll link the playlist below in the description. Just a quick reminder about the giveaway. My 500 subscriber giveaway is going to run this week and end this upcoming Friday. So today is... Nope, don't have the date. This is going to go up on Monday morning, and the comments will stay open until Friday at midnight. It's technically going to be early Saturday morning. Midnight Pacific Standard Time is when that will close. I'll turn off the comments on this video and do a random comment generator to enter. Again, 2 steps. Please fill out the Happy Mail Google form that's in the description. Super fast. It just asks for your name, your email, and whether or not you live in the United States. And then leave a comment on this video. If you're so inclined, please include in your comment how you found my channel. And if you don't remember, that's fine. You could say, I don't remember, or I don't know. But if you happen to remember, I would just be very curious to hear. It's just really interesting to me and helpful for me to know how you guys are finding me, even if it's just through recommended videos from YouTube. But yeah, I'm really excited for that giveaway. Like I said, my first time doing one, but I'm really looking forward to getting to share and give back to you guys. Reminder, there is one prize for United States residents that will be the prize pack, and if you are not in the United States, there will be a Diamond Art Club gift card. If you have any questions about that at all, you can leave that in the comments too. Quick note, I know I'm going on about this for longer than I meant to. If you don't fill out the form and your name were to come up, I will have to pick a different name. So it is really important that you fill out the form, just so that I can make sure I'm being as fair as possible and that you're not getting scammed by someone trying to claim that they're you. But okay, all this to say, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching my videos. It means the world to me. I love making videos for you guys. I have way more fun than I ever expected I would be able to. My mind is blown that I am already at 600 subscribers before I've even done my 500 subscriber giveaway. You guys make my day. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. If you made it all the way to the end of the video and you're still here, thank you again. And please hit the like button before you click away. If you aren't already subscribed, I'd love if you wanted to join me here more regularly and hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I share new videos, which is not on a schedule, but I try to check in with you guys pretty regularly at least. So I hope you all have a really wonderful week. Go enter the giveaway so I can send you fun things. And I'm sure I will talk to you again soon. Have a good night, guys. Bye.